Dr. Omar is a problem.
Dr. Omar is a menace to society.
He's hilarious, though.
Very funny.
One of the funniest.
Yeah, pretty outrageous.
Air quotes doctor. What's his... Based on what I just saw, I don't trust his credentials.
He did use psychologize as a verb, which I'm not certain is a thing that a psychologist would engage in.
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
I'd be willing to bet one way, you know?
Yeah. He might be a doctor. There are lots of ways to be a doctor. My proponent, this is what I'm going to do in 5 years when I pivot to being serious. I'm going to change my first name to Doctor.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. That's the meta.
Is pretty much that's the way that guys like me should become doctors. And then like it should become apparent that like, are there any doctors on the flight?
It should only be a charlatan scam.
Yeah.
No credentials whatsoever.
No credentials.
Besides your birth certificate saying,
yeah,
after being changed,
that's
to doctor.
That stamp came from a notary.
Yeah. I think we could call that the Tingle or the Chuck Tingle maneuver.
Did he change his name to...
Well, in all his books, it says Dr. Chuck Tingle.
Well,
not all of them.
He just proclaimed himself as being a
doctor. Yeah, we went over this.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, doctor is, like, one of those protected titles where, like...
You're not just allowed to say it.
You're not just allowed to say it. However, like, there's nothing, like, really litigating what you put as like, your author name.
Yeah, Chuck Tingle, world's greatest author, does not exist.
Yeah.
I mean, he does, but no, he doesn't.
His legal name isn't Charles Tingle.
No.
Yeah. Like, and then Dr. Omar I have plans that I cannot share with you right now.
I don't get why he repeated it 3 times.
I mean, he's just gassing himself up and gassing the people that fund him.
Yeah.
He's a grifter.
It's because he has plans that he can't share with you right now.
Hold on, pause. Who is funding him?
The people he grifts. Basically, there's a bunch...
Is he like an Alex Jones style of man?
Yes,
okay,
but on the literal opposite end of the slider.
Okay.
As far on the other end... That's why we don't talk about politics on this podcast. I avoid it like the plague.
I don't think it's very...
But it's not really political.
It's not controversial to, like, show, like, the two sides of, like, the two-faced coin.
You know what I mean?
Where it's, you know...
It's just as batshit crazy, but on the literal... as far on the other end as you can go. And with that, welcome back to Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
And if you enjoy the nature of this content, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. You can go and go follow me on Blue Sky, and you can support us on our Patreon. And we're going into part 3 of our Ork series.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're talking about orcs today.
Yeah. So, disregard whatever the hell we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Dr. Omar, what a character. Very funny. Check that out if you want to.
At your own peril. At your own peril.
Don't support him, though.
Don't.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Don't tell him we sent you. Yeah, so Orks. So, a couple of things I wanted to do right off the top. I listened to the first 2 episodes to check to see if I was doing my due diligence, if I missed anything. I believe I did. So, a couple of things. Something I believe is implied by everything I was describing based on orc life cycle and everything, but I didn't explicitly mention it, was the fact that orcs never stop growing.
Oh, yes. This is an important physiological detail.
Right off the top. That's like probably the most important detail of orc physiology.
Yes.
Physiology. As long as they continue to survive and have good fights, they get bigger.
Conceivably, could one grow back to the dinosauric 30-foot tall Krork size?
We'll get there.
Okay, here's a question I wanted to ask you related to this subject. I was under the impression part of what makes a knob is that the growth that a orc experiences is also directly related to the admiration of other orcs. Mm-hmm. So when a boy does something impressive and other boys acknowledge it as that, he gets bigger almost instantly, if just a little bit. And then that clout, basically he rides into an ego that then makes him skyrocket into growth, and he gets a growth spurt, and that's how knobs are born.
Oh.
So there is sources to support that, orcs can experience, like, instantaneous growth. They're not direct accounts, though.
Okay.
So it's other orcs saying that happened.
Okay, and which unreliable narrator and whole
Plausible
GW
deniability.
thing.
But they're also just as likely to be telling the truth.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't have any reason to lie about that.
So maybe there is one source though that I have that does explicitly. It's the only story I've ever read that gives an exact height for a war boss.
Oh yeah.
And so the whole point of saying orcs grow, that's how they become in charge. Is the biggest guys in charge. So the knobs become elites, and then the biggest guy becomes the war boss. And I didn't really. That's another thing I wanted to address. I didn't clarify, like being a war boss, like any kind of orc can become the war boss.
You just got to be big.
Yeah, you just got to be the biggest, the meanest, and you just got to, keep your power.
Yeah.
Typically, though, it's usually like you're like a goth or something, like just like a standard ass like. I beat the shit out of stuff, and I'm really big. That's your average war boss.
I remember you mentioning, I want to say it was in the book War Boss, where there are like 3 different orc bosses trying to vie to become the next war boss. And one of them is a blood axe, and he basically all but acknowledges, there's no way they're going to pick me, I'm a blood axe. I'm too tactical for this shit, so I got to play the other 2 retards, pardon my French, into becoming the war boss.
No, it's just more that he's just sneakier. It's because he's facing off with the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they... So, that... I'll wrap it in. But the point I was bringing to... I'll come back to that. About a war boss is that, like, typically they're just, like... They beat stuff up, and, they're big and strong. But any kind of subtype of orc can become a boss, and then they'd be, like... Depending on what they are, they become, like, a specific kind of boss. So a mech can become a big mech, and then typically a big mech, not very often, but they can become war bosses or warlords, and so they're like a mech boss basically, or you can have a pain boss, a pain boy who became the boss, and all it really does
pain
is
boss sounds like a worst case.
Yeah, it sounds like not a good time.
It just flavors the kind of like WoW that they have,
Right.
Yeah, your average WoW is just going to be normal, like composed of all kinds of orcs. A tech WoW, they're going to be more technologically inclined.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to have better gear, probably. Going to have more mech boys.
A lot of big old power claw guys.
Yeah, better outfitted, more technology, that sort of thing. They're going to want more technology.
Yeah.
They're going to like seek out targets like that.
Yeah, a pain boss, I imagine, has like a very Frankenstein-y thing.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of cyborgs,
Yeah.
all that sort of shit. So any kind of orc can become a war boss. I didn't really like make that clear.
Yeah. That's just like the final evolution that they can reach. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not, but yeah.
And as far as like what the situation in War Boss, what Tony was talking about, so a War Boss then becomes a Warlord, which is a step up. Whereas
That's what it was.
You are now the boss of other war bosses.
Yeah.
And so therefore, those guys who would be war bosses in their own right are now big bosses.
Right.
But they're still under the Warlord.
Right.
So those 3 guys, they were big bosses. But then once the Warlord got killed, now they're up for grabs, but they're equal in standing.
Yeah.
So Civil War.
So normally they would fight it out. But that book in particular, there's a whole thing. A weird boy gets involved, and he tells them about a prophecy he just saw from Cork and Mork, and they have to race and go find the thing. It's fun. It's very fun. It's the race to the orc piece, basically. It's very silly.
This is good.
The other thing I didn't really get into was what things look like. I felt stupid. Like what an orc, like we described it, vaguely, but I didn't really go into it. So like they're big hunched over green dudes, sure. Yeah. And then I talked about the neck
coming right out of the chest.
jutting right out of the chest and everything. They got super long arms, but they're green. Clearly I didn't, if that wasn't obvious.
And then it ain't easy.
Yeah, compared to regular, what you think of orcs though, they're much more like bestial looking.
Yeah.
Especially with because they got the huge teeth,
the tusks,
and then specifically they have the tusks which jut out from their jaw, which is like a whole. They love slapping big old teeth on like the sides of their
the big underbite,
like their shoulders and shit to show you like look at this thing I killed. And then I described snotlings very briefly, like as a small Gretchen, but I didn't really describe Gretchen.
Right.
So I said they're basically goblins. But Gretchen are really tiny, and they're different from orcs, wherein they got big old bat ears. Like they're big and flappy, and they do have better hearing than orcs.
Like Dobby.
Mm-hmm. And then they have a giant ass nose. So it's like the most like cartoonish looking.
That's extra goblin.
Yeah, caricature of a goblin you can think of. And that's a Gretchen. And it's like, and they're just sadistic, scheming, evil little bastards who get bullied by the orcs to do everything.
Yeah.
They didn't really describe squigs as much, but I think you get the idea there. They're all sorts.
Yeah, just the Pac-Man head on haunches.
And really from there it's just small things. Like I didn't really go into like orc words. Like I love saying git. You know, like they call everybody a git.
Yeah.
That's just like a catch-all.
I don't know if
like
we talked
insult.
about this last time. I didn't really think about it at all, but this might have been a different conversation that we had. The origin of why they call themselves knobs.
No.
Because it's noble.
Mm-hmm.
I just literally was like, I was ready to accept, like, of course they call themselves knobs. Those are the big boys. They call themselves whatever they want, and obviously you're going to make kind of a penis joke about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's short for noble, and you could give me 100 guesses, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, we went over that last time. I think the only two words I really went over was knob and wah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, git is another one that they love to use. Daka is also a term. Daka is a big one because Daka's like wah means a lot of things.
Yeah.
But basically it just means like shoot, like bang, loud.
Yeah.
You know, like explosion. If you've got a lot of Daka, you've got a lot of firepower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably got a really good gun, that sort of thing.
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah, and then their language is noted by the Imperium usually as being low Gothic. That's not exactly accurate. So they will speak in low Gothic. Many orcs can speak in low Gothic. That's the whole fucking Cockney thing.
Right.
But they do have their own language.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I would think that, yeah.
And not every orc can speak what they call Humi, which is the low Gothic.
You, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have their own language, but it's really simple. It's almost like grunts. Like it's very silly. It's
sorry, we're having a conversation in Orcish.
It's literally like oog zog 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 wa boog wa ga. Like it's shit like that. Like it's very silly.
Ooh grog. Grog.
And then really only if you guys want to know. Like I thought like well I'm talking about orcs. Like and I thought maybe people want to know what they think of other species. I don't know if you guys care about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. That's good content.
Then very quickly I'll go with that. Where the most obvious one is other orcs.
Right. Competitive, I bet.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like orcs fight each other more than they fight anyone else.
Right. That's the reason that the universe isn't just like covered in a fine green like layer.
They're too busy beating the shit out of each other, and then it's only when they stop, join together, and then start to beat the shit out of someone else that they become a real problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, orcs will have no problem fighting other orcs, which is something like other races don't really understand about them.
And another part of that psychology, as I see it, is like only an orc is a worthy opponent to an orc until they're not. And then at that point, the orcs are such a fucking problem that, yeah, you need space from the shit to handle them. Because they're not going to come out of the woods until they're already so fucking formidable, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because they need, like, the base level fight, they're getting that beating up other orcs. But then, that's just like the gateway drug, and then, like, those fights aren't hitting the same anymore. And now there's this big guy telling us there's some other guys at the crump, and there's some crazy shit that they're doing over there. I think I want to go see that. I think I want to go do that. And by the time we get to this point, yeah, there's like thousands of them, and they have so much shit going on.
I bet they have some of the specialized ones, like a pain boys, like don't you want to chop up the little pink guys, the Yumis down there? And the other orcs are like, you know what? Yeah, I do. And then they come out of the trees.
Because there was one of the novels or one of the snippets in the codexes like describes how there was like this planet that had an orc problem, and that was basically how it ended up being. Is like they were always fighting each other, and the second they stopped, they were like, oh yeah, well, the next wave was coming. Like the war's about to start again. Like every 20 years or so, like the orcs just decided to it's actually cooler to fight those guys instead. Mm-hmm. What a menace! What a menace!
So typically, you can sum up orc opinion of other orcs as like the clan dynamics,
right?
That's like the general idea.
Went over the cultures and stuff.
Yeah. Other than that, there's just like
fighting.
Yeah, there's the orcs being orcs. And then the other big one is the Imperium.
Yeah.
So orcs have like mixed feelings about the Imperium, sort of. On the one hand, they absolutely love them because they're everywhere.
Yeah. Always ready for a fight.
Yeah, and they always try to fight them. Like, it's great. Like, they hate us. Like, awesome. But they also love fighting humans because, regular humans are like, that's not very fun. But they know if they kill enough of those guys, they'll send in the Beakies, which is what they call Space Marines.
Yep, it's just Mark 6 power armor.
And then Space Marines are the only humans who can actually give you a good fight.
Yeah.
Is in their opinion. And then so they love fighting Space Marines. Like that's like one of their favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every time I killed a Yumi, it was just so that a Space Marine would come and kill me.
Yeah,
it was gonna be great.
Like, they'd probably be disappointed if they slaughtered a whole world and then, no Space Marine showed up to defend it. They'd just be like, oh.
Bummer, bro.
What kind of management do you Yumis got?
They'd just be like, well, on to the next one.
No one came!
That's kind of the Imperium. Then that's their general opinion. It's just, they love it. Humi tech is super easy to use for them.
Yeah.
Probably the most similar to what they have as far as, engineering goes. So they love looting human shit, and then I kind of briefly went over their opinion of the Emperor. They respect the Emperor as a war god because clearly he must be. Yeah, he's got to be a big war god because they always make all these fucking shrines to him everywhere.
Yeah,
and they make these giant statues of him, so it's he's got to be at least that big, right?
I love the logic.
Yeah,
he's huge.
Which is funny because technically they're not wrong. I mean, if he wasn't bound to the Golden Throne, but the Emperor used to have he could just control what size he was.
Like Magnus, right?
Yeah, he had biomancy. Yeah, he could just do that. So they're not wrong. He could become a giant,
Sound
if
like
he wanted
a war god to me.
Biomancy is, of the psychic disciplines in Warhammer, that is probably one of the most unique ones. You don't really see that a lot in, sci-fi IPs, where, your ability to do mind bullets involves your physiology and biology just being warped by your perception.
You can shapeshift.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm. The Thousand Sons, they go into it a little bit in some of their books. In general, that's pretty much sums up their opinion. If you're not a Space Marine, you're kind of boring, but we will take your shit. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then there's let's say the Eldar. They find Eldar to be really annoying because they don't like the way they fight.
Right. They use the shuriken guns, right?
It's not even that. It's that they hate that they're so acrobatic and are always flipping around everywhere. And they're their opinion is just stay still and fight me, you fucking pansy.
Yeah, they're literally fairies.
It's what's the point of a fight if you're just gonna flip around and not fight me? They get so mad about it. And that Eldar don't like to fight to the death.
Right.
No,
they're trying to live.
They're a bit too intelligent for that. Yeah.
That's their particularly them. They're trying to not get their soul eaten by Slanesh. So they try to survive at all costs, and orcs fucking hate that. Just, that's the only reason they like humans, is because humans will die fanatically for their fucking emperor.
I fought these pointy ears and we fought all damn day and not one of us died. it was a travesty to the battlefield.
Yeah, so orcs basically will admit that Eldar are strong.
Yeah.
And then they can fight. They just don't like the way they fight. And they hate that they're somehow strong and yet so tiny.
Yeah.
Everything about them is just you're wrong. Why are you like this?
We're culturally incompatible.
That's funny.
They really dislike. They don't hate them or anything, but it's just that, if they have to get in a conflict with them, it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
And then that opinion kind of extends to the Dark Elves,
right?
Or the Drukhari, in the sense that pretty much the same opinion, except the Drukhari, Dark Eldar, stop saying elves, will, in their opinion, they do everything that they would do, but they take the fun out of it.
It's such a funny opinion. You're just doing this, but worse.
Yeah.
It's funny.
The whole taking prisoners and torturing them and stuff, and it's just orcs will just do that for fun until they get bored, And then they view all the things that they do, and it's just like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing? Like, they don't understand, like...
If there's no passion behind your torture, why do you torture them?
Well, it's like just keeping someone alive in, like, a living state of, like, perpetual agony.
Yeah.
They're
just
like,
kill him!
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a fight.
They don't gotta feed the Slanesh.
Like, what are you doing? So, yeah, they think they're kind of like bitches, too, and then they just don't understand them. They're just like spiky kids. Like, they're weird. Like, they make everything strange. So that's Eldar. The Tau.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Tau, I think they call them fish boys.
Really? Wow.
Or fish heads, maybe.
No way.
Fish heads is like that's
a real one.
That's like a slur. Like
brutal.
Something like that. And they don't really like them either because Tau don't really do
good old space racism.
You know what? Bleep when we say that. You can't say that.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Orcs don't care about that, but
Yeah.
they don't like them because Tau don't fight in close combat typically.
No, they hate it. They got bird bugs.
So they get really annoyed that they just sit back and shoot at them, and that's kind of like the same situation with the elves, just different.
Yeah,
like
the way that they fight is
like, get over here and fight me, like you pansy.
It's not compatible with our idea of fun, and therefore it damages our morale.
Yeah. And at first, they kind of liked him because the Tau were just super naive and they manipulated the fuck out of
Yeah,
him.
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, freebooters took advantage of the Tau so bad that the Tau just now, like, Orcs gotta go. Get rid of them.
Of course we'll join the greater good. You just give me half your ship's worth of goods, and then I'll bring back a bunch of my Orcs back to this garrison using your other ship that I'll take with me.
Yeah, some freebooter crew like made a deal with some Tau to build them like a space station or something, and in order to like they were gonna do something for them. Then so they made them the space station. It was just like, well, here you go, and he's just like, thank you, goodbye, and then they just took it and left.
Yeah, of course they did.
It's just like that's what made
our payment?
Tau on them.
Yeah. Our payment, sir, Mr. Orc.
Nope.
Just not even that he's like on the other side of the door. He's already walked away. Mm-hmm. He's not waiting at all.
So they don't like engaging with the Tau, but if they think they can have an easy win, they do like their weapons. Like they love Tau tech.
Right.
Like it works real good. And then the only Tau they do like are the Farsight enclaves.
Yeah, I figured as much because he melee boy.
Because he gets in there. He gets stuck in melee combat, and Orcs respect that.
I don't know who this character is.
He's obsessed with
the killing blow. So the Tau have basically two major philosophies of combat. There's the Kuyon, which is I'm probably mispronouncing this horribly, but there's the Kuyon, which is the patient hunter, and the Monthka, which is the killing blow. And Farsight embodies the Monthka, the killing blow, which is like hit them as hard and precise as possible, as quickly as possible, to end it as quickly as possible.
A very samurai style of.
Yeah, and then the other one is basically ambush, like bait them out.
Right.
My philosophy, the Mantis shit, like lull your opponent into a false sense of superiority and then punish them for it. Yeah.
And he's also broken away from the Tau Empire and founded like his own kind of little sect, the Farsight Enclaves. So he doesn't listen to. It's implied because they've never really confirmed if ethereals control other Tau with like pheromones or something,
baby.
or like some shenanigans.
Yeah.
And so the implication is that he's somehow got
Free.
unhooked from that. And now he's just doing his own thing, and his favorite thing is to kill Orcs.
Yeah, to my understanding, his ethereal...
What is his name?
Farsight. Oshava, yeah.
Oh.
Commander Farsight. And he was like one of the students of, I think, Pure Tide, which is like the greatest commander, basically, and they froze off his students in cryosleep.
Yeah.
So they wake up like one at a time and like, to like, okay, you are like the guy now. You are like, because you're one of his students.
This is sort of like a Wrath of Khan situation.
Kind of.
More
and
like
then,
Demolition Man.
Yeah, more like Demolition Man.
Yeah.
More like Demolition Man. But with like, now you're the new Rambo. Like you're the new general guy. And because the Tau are controlled by the ethereals, so you can control by pheromones.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. That's just,
Perhaps.
So Oshava's ethereal got, so he stopped having the constant indoctrination, the constant pheromone treatments, and so he was like, I'm just not going to do what you say anymore. Bye. and so they have an ethereal 3 society.
Yeah, that sums up Tau pretty much.
How do they feel about the Nids?
Tyranids, mixed. They're annoying because they don't they fight, but it's not like.
I mean, they're like animals.
Yeah,
they don't fight like a fighter.
Yeah, so it's they're good for a fight, but it's also just Nids also have a tendency to be a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna run away from it,
Yeah.
And memes aside, bad scrap. You're not getting bullets. You're not getting.
Yeah.
You're not getting loot.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of Nids that are real tough, though. They like to fight.
Because didn't the Arc Arcanist before Gazgul springed him? Wasn't that why he was losing? Is Orcs are basically this endless horrible entity. Nids are basically this horrible endless entity. But the Nids can replace the biomass to make more bullets and weapons, whereas the Orcs can't loot Nid bullets.
Well, specifically there, it was because he couldn't get rid of the Hive Tyrant.
Okay.
So he beat the Hive Tyrant, and it just came back.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And then it beat him.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Which, I didn't bring that up. Tony said Arsonist, which is when warlords get to a certain level of controlling territory, it's they have an orc empire, they get they'll take unique titles. Arsonist is the Octarius.
I want to say Octarius
sector, I think. And then you got there's that.
The Beast, the infamous Beast.
Well, that's
mythological figure. At this point.
He's not. Yeah, that's not contemporary with what we're going over.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a few others I didn't write them down. But yeah, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I didn't mention the Arc Arsonist is and it's a title that gets passed on. So he was the third or fourth.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, yeah. That's cool.
That's pretty much Tyranids. Whatever. They'll fight them, but generally it's they'd prefer to fight someone else. Who else?
I think that leaves the Forces of Chaos at that point.
Chaos, they do enjoy fighting.
They're probably. They are some of the fightiest.
Yeah, some more than others. They'd rather fight Khorne.
Yeah.
Khornite.
Yeah.
Demons
easy
or anything like that.
And I bet the Khornites would rather be fighting orcs, as opposed to letting those
they'd probably
bird guys or somebody fight the orcs.
They'd probably be into it, but it's you get more out of fighting someone else.
Yeah.
We went over it last time. The whole demons view orcs as the abhorrence and.
Oh yeah.
Or they have sway over them and all that.
You don't even get any loot technically because their souls go back to their afterlife instead of yours.
I would argue. But yeah, so that they do enjoy fighting demons. It's a good time. Because unlike humans, they can just fight back. I guess because they're innately psychic. So it seems like orcs can just beat the shit out of demons with regular ass stuff, and it just works because.
Right. Because they're
orcs.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, they would have the basically the psychic coating on their choppas.
Yeah, I've never seen it anywhere specified ever that orcs use some sort of special technique to fight demons. They just
fight them.
They just do what they always do. Yeah,
bash them real fucking good.
Yeah, and that's their opinion on the warp too. Is just whatever. Because I think I went over it briefly, but human space travel, you go into the warp, you have a bubble generated by a machine that keeps you in a pocket of reality.
The Jello field.
As you pass through unreality hell.
Yeah. You have to go through the movie Event Horizon.
Orcs do the same thing, just without the reality bubble. They just go in.
They just go in.
Raw dog.
How does that work out for them?
Do they just fight the demons when they show up? Or wow, based.
They prefer it that way, otherwise they'll get bored.
Based and red-pilled.
It makes a lot more sense than making a Geller field if none of your guys can get possessed.
Yeah. If you don't have to worry about demonic possession, then yeah, it's just fighting.
Yeah.
It's just bashing.
I don't know if demons can influence that. They might be able to do something. I don't know if possession, though. But yeah, generally speaking, it's just they welcome demons aboard. It's just hell yeah, let's pass the time.
Well, because to my understanding, a lot of the stuff that demons do involves in you having a host. So if an Imperial ship is traveling through the warp and the Geller field flickers, and someone on the ship is now being assailed by a demon mentally or whatever, and they're now corrupted by it. Their flesh can now, being physical, when the Geller field comes back on, it's already still corrupted. You're serving as a conduit for more bad things to happen, even though the field is back. Once the breach is done, it's still fucked. But with Orks,
it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that corruption vessel anchor point is never happening. So it's just demons that are creeping into the ship because they're not in the material.
You can't do anything.
And then they bash them. That's really fucking funny to me.
None of this high-handed haunted house manipulation of turning a guy into a crab claw murderer.
It's Event Horizon.
You have to show up.
It's Event Horizon if it was just Super Smash Brothers instead. It's none of the body horror. Just literally walk 'em, sock 'em, demon robots.
I've said it before. I think Orks are the only ones having a good time in the Grimdark.
They're just having a blast.
Even when they die, they know that they go back to the welcoming arms of Gork and Mork, ready to be thrown back into combat.
It's just Call of Duty. Call of Duty to them. So I'm gonna respawn at camp, and God, that sucks. I had a great weapon, but I'll get another one.
Hold that thought. We'll
Shit!
We'll get back to that. Yeah, so that's Chaos. Necrons are a pain.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd like them not
yeah, they call them tin heads.
That's a good one.
Or
a lot of good slurs
tin
going
boys. On here. And yeah, they'll fight them, but it's the same thing. It's like they're just kind of annoying. One, because most of them are completely emotionless. So there's less of a thrill, when you fight them.
They're not scared.
Yeah, they don't bleed. They're made of metal. So they just don't enjoy fighting them.
It's a lot less satisfying. Yeah. Not a lot of screaming.
And their weapons really fuck you up.
Flayers, bro.
Yeah, even a regular ass Gauss rifle. That's one Orks can't really shrug off.
Yeah.
That's obliterating you on an atomic level. So yeah, they pain in the ass. They'll still fight them though, and they're kind of like demons. They're pretty. They were designed literally to fight Necrons and their gods. So they're really good actually at fighting Necron because they were literally designed to be a counter. Maybe.
Depending on your interpretation of early lore.
Did I miss anyone? Any factions?
I can't think of any.
What about the Kin?
Kin? That one I'm not too sure.
Because that's new lore, so that's harder to like.
Kin probably just keep to themselves on it. If anything, they probably don't really like them, or they probably just view them as a different kind of Hume,
Yeah,
because really, I think the only place they would really encounter them is if they were, they were somewhere somewhere or something. Orcs showed up.
Do they still call them stunties?
I don't know.
I'm assuming they do, but that's purely an assumption.
Because of the Leagues of Votan being such a new thing, I haven't seen it. I haven't counted any of that in novelizations,
and that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, they're from 7th or no, 9th ed.
So that I no clue, honestly.
Wrong. We're currently on 10th ed. So they're from 9th ed. So Leagues of Votan are one of the, if not the newest army.
Yeah, Space Dwarves for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is they were called squats before, right?
Yes, and they basically redid their lore to be they're all clones basically.
Yeah.
And they're called the Kin.
It's pretty cool.
I loved the little dwarf motorcycle guys.
They have hover bikes now. They're sick.
They're so sick.
Anyone else? Did I miss anything else?
I think those are all the Xenos.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, there are minor Xenos.
Other
because the Tal have thousands of Xenos under their fucking belt.
Yeah.
But
and I can't imagine
talk about them.
Yeah.
So those were things should have already been brought up. But as you can see, it's a lot of information.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get there. But now let's pivot. And last thing I ended on with the previous episode was I was going to talk about Ork technology. So right off the top, something that people get wrong completely about Ork technology is that it only works because they believe it does. No, that's wrong.
I never figured out where that came from.
That is wrong. It's 3rd edition codex, I believe. There is multiple sections of the text that has reports from Mechanicus Magi doing reports on greenskins, and so one of them was it was a Magi hypothesizing that their tech works because of the psychic field shit, and then it's also the one everyone points to for Red Ones Go Faster because he claims to have measured this that the red Ork vehicles do in fact go faster. It's presented in a very dubious fashion. Like he didn't do very good research.
Yeah.
So that's the one everyone points to, but again, the unreliable narrator.
Yeah, as usual.
Like, so there could be truth in there, you know, but by and large, like, no, that's not how that works. I'm going to argue later that it helps nudge their technology along, but by and large, it is just functional. It just works.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you're thinking of like how psychic powers would affect all of their technology. It would require like all of them to be really, really good psychics for any of them to have like guns that work, because that means everybody has to be a psychic level of like shooting a bullet with your mind. Whereas if it's just like things that all orcs agree upon, such as the red ones go faster. Mm-hmm. That's everybody giving a little bit to every technology that's painted red. Whereas the idea of like that's how all their tech works, that falls apart as soon as like you give an army of them guns. That would require them to be so much more psychic than they actively show themselves to be.
Yeah, I think it is functional technology. So that I have evidence to support this. There's a Kane novel where they take an orc vehicle and a Mechanicus chick. She just tunes up the engine basically, and it works. But it's an internal combustion engine.
Yeah.
She manages to figure out how it works and drive it. Like it is drivable.
Yeah. I would go as far as to say the psychic phenomena thing would be like one of their guns would probably jam in a human's hands a lot faster.
More often.
Yeah.
More
like
often.
there's like the same way that the Adeptus Sororitas belief in the Emperor causes bullets to sometimes not hit them. Like a golden ball of light will come and have a bullet not hit them in the eye. That same thing except green with my gun not jamming.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's never explicitly stated that's the case, but that's how I interpret it. Otherwise, you can just view it as it just works, and quality varies because orcs. Which, that's the other part of it, is why would they need that? And it's, orc technology is made out of literal garbage.
Yeah.
They call it scrap, and it's literal scrap. Like, they would go to a dump site and would pick through it and think it's a treasure trove, because somehow that's the other wild part is people focus too much on the whole like belief thing, but it's like you're not realizing that they are taking literal garbage and turning it into a stellar empire. Like, that's fucking bananas.
They can loot anything. Yeah. The upcycling into a ruinous effect.
Yeah, and that's another thing in like early codexes of like Mechanicus examining like orc tech that they've confiscated, and there was like a note from one of them being like, this wiring is insane, but it works. Like he described it as being like, I don't know how he came to this conclusion, like this assembly. I would describe it as very inspired, but it's functional.
That's so polite.
It works. So there's that.
There's clearly a method at work here. It's not a method that I can understand why someone would use, but it works.
Yeah. So that's how orc tech works, and it's just they unlock more as they go along because of the whole genetic memory thing and the growth thing that happens as they get bigger. But just general overview of like equipment that you can expect. Like, this is stuff you'd see on like the tabletop or like in stories. And I just wanted to go over some because it's orc stuff. It's a lot of them have like very fun names and are very silly in how they work. So this is just a general overview. We'll start with vehicles. So you're any like standard like car, I guess you could call it, or small transport. It's a truck.
A truck?
A truck.
TRUKK.
Yep.
That's great.
It doesn't matter what kind it is. That's a truck.
That's a truck.
And typically,
actually, that's a sedan. A kind of truck.
They will take a vehicle like a sedan, and then they will cut off the top.
Right, make it a truck.
They turn it into an open top vehicle so they can fit more boys in.
So
and they'll add like railings and shit or whatever. And then then we're good to go. Transport done.
We got the truck.
Yeah. So that's basically it. Like, and of course, because it's orcs, like they don't just have a car. Like one of the basic truck models, it has like a fucking wrecking ball on the back.
Yes, sir.
Because of course it does.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
It's Mad Max times.
And then a step up from there, like if you want to talk, like orcs don't really have tanks per se. They'll steal them from other people, but what they would call a tank, that's a battle wagon. And a battle wagon comes in any sort of shape or size, doesn't really matter, but the general idea is like, think if you took a school bus or just like a bus, and put fucking heavy armor on it, and then gave it like 16 more wheels and treads for some reason, and then like boosters on the back and a claw arm on the top,
and the wrecking ball,
and then you give it a huge like ramming like faceplate on the front.
Like a cow catcher on a
and then that's a battle
train.
wagon.
Yeah.
It's a giant transport. It's also a tank. It's a ramming weapon. It's got guns. It's got a fucking claw weapon. Whatever. Anything.
I would love to be the orc that gets to man the claw. You know, like imagine like being on the battle wagon with your boys, and then you're just charging the fucking Lehman Russ battle tank that's shooting at you, and it's having devastating effect. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It's already scrap anyway. So like it's blowing apart your truck. It's still moving. It doesn't care. And then your pilot gets right next to the tank, and it's turning its turret trying to shoot you again, and you get your giant mecha claw and just rip off the turret. Yeah.
Okay.
You can use the turret. You're like trying to be fancy. You're using the turret as like a hammer now.
Yeah.
Smashing the tank.
Hit him with his own pimp. Yeah.
And then they got war bikes, which
motorcycles
come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Sometimes they got treads instead of wheels. Don't ask.
Right.
Still goes as fast somehow.
I love it.
Yeah, and they're again. I mentioned it earlier. Orc bikers are comparable to fucking white scars, which is like a big deal.
Back during 5th edition, so when I came online as a human being, I've been playing Warhammer for a long time.
Yeah.
And when I was a little kid, I didn't really get the game. I was a dumb little kid. But when I came online as a human being, around 5th edition Warhammer 40,000, one of the first units I registered is like, oh, like numbers-wise, this is insane, is the Knob Biker. You could take a unit of 6 Knob Bikers, and I'm going to go into a little bit of details here, sorry for the complicated stuff, but basically, in Warhammer 40,000, each individual model would have a wound count, and in previous editions, before 8th edition, having more than one wound was very rare. Knobs had 2 wounds. Typically, when a unit takes damage, you have to allocate the damage to each individual model one at a time. So, like, if one guy takes 1 wound, he has to take the second wound. You can't just split them out among the unit, right? So if you take 2 wounds, one guy dies. 2 more wounds, another guy dies. You couldn't do one guy has 1 wound, another guy has 1 wound, a third guy has 1 wound. You can't do that. That's how the rules work. Unless each model is unique. If each model is unique, then you can allocate wounds because to be able to have the war gear that you want not get removed. Knob Bikers were the only model that each individual model could be uniquely equipped so that you could split the damage to each one of them. So in a game where, like, yeah, typically if you do 2 damage to that unit, one of them goes away. Well, now you have to do 6 damage to that unit for any of them to go away. So and they're on bikes. So turn 1, Knob Bikers go full tilt sprint towards you on their bikes, like boost. They get an invulnerable save because they're going so fast. So half your shots aren't doing shit anymore. And then it's, you do your turn, you're trying to blow them away. You don't, because you have to do so much damage to them to kill any of them.
Right, and it's unlikely that you'll hit them. And
then it's turn 2, they're on bikes, they're already in melee range, it's over. Yeah. The game's off. You've lost the game. I'm hyping it up a little harder than it actually was, but for certain lists like Guard struggled so hard against Knob Bikers, because once they started tagging shit, you can't shoot into combat, it's over. Yeah, devastating unit.
Yep, so bikers are a real big deal. You got Death Copters.
Those are helicopters.
Which is not a transport. That is a 1-seater vehicle that has guns, but its primary weapon, the helicopter blades.
Oh, hell
no
yeah.
way! They just fucking chop them to bits. That's so sick.
They do a flyby by tilting forward because
The cruelest of pain boys man the copter.
Because the blades are literal blades.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be? Imagine just taking power swords and turning it into a helicopter.
Yeah, the Defcopter apparently doesn't work really well as a ranged unit. You're supposed to fly by with the blades.
It can fire its gun, but like most orc guns, it's designed for you to fire it.
It's just to kill time.
Just to kill time while you're on your way to melee range. Yeah.
It's something to do before you get close enough.
It's just you and your boy going, taka, 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 taka.
Oh,
Wow!
I love it so much. They're so dumb.
Yep, and in that vein, there is the Orc Flyers. So you got stuff, the basic one being like a Daka jet, which is, think of like a World War II timey like fighter jet. That's what it looks like. Just with like way more guns.
A comical amount of guns.
And then orcs that fly in these planes are called flyboys.
I love it.
And they are considered like probably the most reckless orcs for wanting to get in those jets.
Those death machines.
Yeah, so they are like as like crazy ass adrenaline junkies as all orcs are. They're considered insane.
Are they usually speed freaks too, or not necessarily?
I don't think necessarily.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got a Daka jet, which just
Red Comet would go hard as a name for a speed
Oh
freak
baby,
flyboy.
it really would.
And then if
Dude, he has a Char helmet.
say you got a mech who either really wanted to build a plane or wanted to pilot one, that's a custom job, and that's a Wazbomb Blastojet.
Baby.
Wazbomb Blastojet.
Yeah,
I love these names.
It's just a custom mech design, and has advanced weapons like teleport mega blasters and force fields.
That seems like quite an upgrade between the last flying unit being a World War II fighter plane
with a bunch
that
of guns.
only the insane would pilot because they're so dangerous.
Yeah, speaking of other dangerous vehicles, you got the speed freaks. There's a bunch of different kinds of cars, but the most important one, because it's going to relate to an orc I have to talk about later, is the shock jump dragsta.
Yes.
Is it like a big...
So, this is an armored vehicle, right? And it's specifically designed to go as fast as possible in a straight line.
Yeah, it is.
And it's equipped with a lot of weapons. It has mounted saws, like on the sides and shit. Rocket launchers, and a shock attack gun. Which, shock attack gun, I'll get into that in a minute, but basically it shoots a teleport blast. It's brutal.
It teleports something into you.
Yeah.
And then the resulting fallout kills you.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed.
Because you're there.
Yeah.
And now something else.
Now something else.
So
yeah.
The shock jump dragster's most devastating move and also most risky is it can do a short warp jump.
Oh baby.
So the boys who love going fast, a strategy they'll try to do, for example, is like, say you're sieging like a city or something. They'll speed towards the walls and try to time their jump so they go through the wall and land on the other side and don't crash. Or at least if they crash, try to survive.
Crash on the inside where people will be hit.
Ideally, you don't crash and they can keep driving.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just the dimensional drift from fucking regular show.
It really is.
It's pretty great. So from there...
It's such a misuse of technology.
Remember how we said they have the best teleporter tech and the best ship tech?
This
is how they use it.
Dude, they're devastating. No one ever expects it. If anyone's not familiar with the concept of a dreadnought, that is a space marine who's been too injured to like continue as just like a regular space marine.
Right.
And then you get put in a jar, basically. And then you get hooked up into a mech, and now you're a dreadnought. Congratulations.
You're
big stompy boy.
You pilot this robot now.
Yeah. You were entombed in a mech, and now you're a big stompy dude. Orcs looked at that, and they were like, that's fucking awesome. I want to make one of those, and that's a Death Dread. Exact same concept, except orcs typically will volunteer.
I want to be big and steel and terrible.
One, because they can't consider the ramifications of this.
Right.
Wherein they're now, they can't get out.
They're trapped in.
But they don't think about that.
You got to feed them through little crevices in the fucking in the cracks.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Do they just like build the whole thing around their whole body?
And they seal them in there, yeah, and then they just live there now.
So, and then typically Death Dreads will go insane.
Because you're stuck in there.
They can handle it.
Yeah, no. Even the Space Marines, they at least have the decency to like make sure you're just like a brain.
Yeah. A cheaper option, stuff a grot in a can.
The killer cans.
So that's a kilocan, which is you take a Gretchen, usually unwillingly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they don't like it. They're a lot smarter. They don't like it.
Sometimes they do, because they are big now.
Yeah, true. Now they can be the terror. They can beat up the boys.
They can beat people up now.
Yeah.
I'm not so little now. He's like giving them wedgies and giving them swirlies.
Trade off, you live in a can now forever.
Once again, feeding you paste through a hole.
Is this like also a dreadnought size? Like
it's smaller.
They're much smaller, but like
still
like
big
a
as
Space
shit,
Marine
yeah.
Terminator, like a Space Marine Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, big boy, but not like bigger than a dreadnought.
bigger than most of the boys.
Yeah, they'll still fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Like they got like a bunch of weapons and like saw arms and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And so much workplace trauma.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's ready to fucking
They're
unload.
ready to unload.
And then we got some specific orc guns. So I already mentioned the shock attack gun, right?
Yeah.
I think originally it was just what it sounds like, where it just blasts electricity or some shit. But then they turned it in. I could be wrong on that. But as it is now, it shoots a warp tunnel, and then they shoot stuff into you. Typically, a snarling.
Yeah, the mini is a Big Mac with like the gun over his shoulder, and it snakes around his back, and he has a vacuum cleaner, and he's just sucking up snotlings, and they're like clinging for dear life. Like, no, not me, and he's blasting them at Space Marines.
So they rematerialize inside a guy, and they don't take it well, obviously.
Yeah.
Just use a rock. You don't need to use me.
So yeah, shock attack gun is devastating. That is a horrifying weapon.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Get flied, idiot.
Then we got the bubble chucka. Deceptively
Sounds like a pretty
innocent
cute.
sounding
yeah.
game.
Really do.
So it shoots clusters of energized force field balls
Oh.
I forgot they weaponized force fields.
of different sizes that have also varying degrees of kinetic force. So they literally just blow bubbles everywhere, and then based on which one it touches you, it either like explodes, and you're like or your blood salsa now.
Yikes.
And they're just like still in the air.
Yeah, they just float.
Containing the kinetic energy of like a 40-mile-per-hour car crash until the very moment that you hit, and that energy gets transferred. Man,
Brutal.
What
What a terrifying concept.
that rules. Orcs are so cool.
the most boring one is the custom mega cannon, which is just a big energy blast. Just a big old cannon.
Lasers.
Pretty uninspired.
And then
Fire that mech.
Last one I got for that is the tractor cannon. You pull things in, you need to smash them, crush them to the ground.
Good. That's how you're supposed to
It's
use
just
that.
it's a gravity gun basically.
Yeah.
Okay, then you get into Gargants, which are Orc Titans, which they have different scaling. They're all effigies to the gods. That's just a given. But they range from like 25, 30 feet to fucking colossal gargantuan monstrosities that are like skyscrapers.
Yeah, kaijus and shit. Yeah.
Right. So big beginning one is that are like 20 foot plus ish is a Gork or Morkanaut, which is just a big old stompy mech, but it's not too big. It's still big.
Yeah.
Then there's a Stampa, which is a step up from that, much bigger. I can't find definitive numbers on how big they are exactly. I'm assuming roughly the size of a Warhound Titan, which is one of the smaller ones.
Warhound. A little smaller.
Around there.
A little smaller.
And then a Gargant is just straight up a Titan. Like, equivalent to...
That's the agreed upon scale for Titans.
Yeah, equivalent to, like, Knights up to, like, Warlord Titan. And then a Mega Gargant is the equivalent of, like...
The Imperators.
An Imperator, like Titan.
In Armageddon, the Armageddon book, like, their Armageddon is, like, sitting on, like, a peninsula kind of deal. So there's, like, a sea to the south. And the Orcs are attacking from the north. And, like, they don't even remotely consider that the south is a problem. There's a whole ocean back there. Why would there be Orcs? And they march a Mega Gargant across the sea like Godzilla.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's and they're just like, well, I guess we're fucked now. Like, who would have saw that coming?
Oh, bullshit, you called that.
You know what I mean? Like, no tactician would ever fucking call that. Like, the oldest trick in the book, the Kaiju Gargant March.
And there's no standardization for these things. Like, they can just be whatever.
Yeah.
They just vaguely look like a giant orc. You know, that's the general rule.
Right.
And then you get to the spacecraft, right? They have multiple kinds. You wouldn't expect.
Right.
Typically, it's looted spacecrafts, most likely.
Yeah.
A spaceship doesn't really matter of any small or large size. That's a cruiser. Kroozer.
Cruise.
Good.
Cruiser.
The cruiser.
Yeah. And that's just a spaceship. Then there's rocks. ROK. Which,
I love rocks.
so a rock, Kevin. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? There's all these asteroids in space just taking up
No.
space. So you just tractor beam some of those bad boys in. You hollow them out. You slap a hull on there on the outside. You strap some rockets to the back. There you go.
It's made out of rocks what was traveling through space.
We
it's
have
the
a
perfect
transport, and it's a devastating assault weapon.
How do you think they use the rocks, Kevin?
I imagine they drive them right into the planet.
Yes. Like Space Marine drop pods, but way better.
And you'd ask yourself, doesn't that kill a lot of orcs? To which the orcs would just say, yeah.
Sure does.
Yeah, the weak ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the hard ones get out.
I'm not going to die.
Not me.
exactly.
Never
Yeah.
me.
Not me, obviously.
Never me. Never me.
What if you do die? Well, I won't.
In Space Marine, like you do like the original Space Marine game, you're fighting orcs, and like you do like the original opening mission or whatever, and you like go meet up with the guardsmen, and like the scene where they like show like the escalation of things are so bleak is like you look up at the horizon and like millions of rocks are just coming back down. Like the next wave of orcs has come. Like you've accomplished fucking nothing. Like
Oh, man.
Yep. And then from there, there's Ulks. Or Hulks.
Right.
yes.
So a Space Hulk is something that's very common in 40k. It's a mash of spaceships.
Yeah.
So
Think the plastic island in the ocean where all like the plastic just
Yeah.
converges, but spaceships.
spaceships.
Yeah.
And they have a tendency to drift in and out of the warp. So they'll just show up wherever. Orcs fucking love them, though.
And because of that too, a lot of times like they're not just merges and they hit each other. They're merges in a ship warped into another ship, and now they're crossed together.
So orcs will get these and just knock out walls to make like actual rooms and stuff and whatever.
This is great.
Yeah, they'll fix it up and then they'll just use it as a fucking spaceship.
And they just fly it around, and that's like the mothership a lot of the
And
time.
they're
just
like-
Space Hulks.
They're like continent plus size. They're enormous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll float basically a baby planet next to a planet and then invade that planet.
They don't fly really good, but that's not really a concern because they just
No.
go into the warp and then wherever it spits them out, cool.
Yeah, time to fight. Like, great job.
And then
wherever more
We've got the
us.
finest navigations possible.
All right. And then
We
they'll-
drive right into the portal, and the portal spits us right back out.
So there's way more other orc technology I didn't get into. But the last of the space stuff, right? And the most ridiculous. What do you think an attack boon is?
An attack boon?
Moon. Yeah.
An attack moon?
Yeah.
Well, I'd wager they strap a bunch of rockets to the back of your local moon and start driving it at you.
Good bet.
Yeah, they hijack they loot your moon and use it against you.
Close. So, apparently, if orcs get to a certain level, as they did in the War of the Beast, they develop technology wherein they will rip chunks off of planets to form artificial planetoids and then outfit them into space stations, which have teleportation capabilities. As in, the space station teleports.
Oh, man. So an
I
attack
remember
moon
this.
is they make a planet almost?
Mm-hmm.
They make a little baby They make a baby planet to fly it next to your planet. They literally do that.
Fucking Katamari Damacy style technology.
Don't they do that? Don't they do that to Terra? They just teleport. Yeah, talking about they have the best teleporting tech.
That's their biggest flex in the War of the Beast is they teleport one right above Terra.
And like, there's no one there to like defend them, so it's checkmate at that point. But like, they end up like doing mind games about it, so it ends up being fine.
It's very
but
silly.
it would have been checkmate. Like,
Yeah.
And so one, they're a space station. That's a problem. They teleport. That's a problem. But their weaponry, their primary weapon, is a gravity whip. So Don't ask me how that works. But they just, they control the force of gravity itself, and they can just whip fucking ships, basically. Like, they'll take out whole star cruisers, just whoosh. And they're like, what just happened? And it's just gravitational fluxes, sir. It's like, what do you mean?
We switched
Jesus Christ.
We switched attractor beam's controls to Wumbo and activated the whip mode.
The attack moves are silly. It's the whole War of the Beast is very silly. But I'll get into all that on the next episode, where I'm going to talk about specific orcs and where you can read about them.
And with that, we're going to call tonight's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.